Sorry for any kind of delay. Sorry for any kind of delay. I had to shut off all my notifications today. We're just waiting for Vibin to join here, and then we'll kick things off. I sent him the co-host, so he's probably getting all set up for himself here. If anybody else wants to talk, you're more than welcome to come up as well.
What's up, brother?
Too much, buddy. Good to get the positive vibes going again in here. It's going to be a good time, I think.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's Friday. Everybody's getting their paycheck, man. Probably going to come in and find out what to buy today.
Well, that's it. The market's definitely looking nice today, a lot better than it was, which is good. But we knew that was coming. It's a natural cycle.
Yeah, man. I like it when the market takes a little break and gets people fearful, and it ends up helping them, or ends up making them dump their bag, and we get it for cheaper, or the people who waiting at the bottom get it for cheaper. But yeah, man, I had a good time over the last couple of days watching the market. I mean, it was always something that I'm watching that I always feel like gets away from me a little faster than I want to, and it's always good to know that if you stay patient, the market will bring it back to you. So I was able to get a couple things that I thought I missed.
Well, that's good. On top of this, now the market's correcting itself. I have a feeling we might have a really strong run here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Before the space fills up, guys, if you're in the room, do you mind just go ahead and sharing the space on your Twitter? That way we can fill the room up faster and jump into some interesting conversations.
Got any big plans for your Friday vibing?
Relax, relax, and relax, all in that order.
No doubt, hey. I think that's what Fridays are good for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I told you, it's that time of the year where it starts getting really cold. Well, not really cold, but it starts getting cold for us here. So, um, the transition takes me a couple of weeks to get used to before I start wanting to go out. But it's Friday. You never know. I'm pretty sure it'll be a drink or two involved at some point of the evening.
Hey, Eugene, go ahead.
Hey guys, hey, thanks for setting up this space. So I've been looking, regarding who's going to lead the way on this metaverse. I've been looking at Mana and Sand, and it looks like I might have missed the boat on those two. But what other ones do you think are going to be key players?
I would go before I jump in and give you some other key players. I want to tell you first of all, you didn't miss the boat on either one of those. If you read charts or do TA, like both of them are in a certain wave, right? And Sanders only had one of five or one of three. So if right now if they do break out again, it'll be wave 3 or 3, and then they'll have a 5 or 3. So they both potentially have a lot of room to still grow. I actually think Mana will go, uh, more than 5x from where it is currently, because they haven't really. I mean, for a wave to actually occur, then it has to break the all time high to start the new wave to go into price discovery. So I don't think you missed the boat on any one of those. I would find a good entry point the next time they come back to retest some of the old all time highs. And if you can get in at an old all-time high, I think you'll still have you'll see good profit. But as far as some other metaverse projects that I'm currently looking at, or that I'm currently I'm doing research on, there's a few. I know DVI. DVI is one of my big ones that I'm paying attention to right now. Night War is a play to earn. The kicker is KWS. They're going to be a big player. Remark is going to be a big player as far as on the Moon River side. I mean the Moonbeam side. And the Kusama side, they're going to be really big over there. And Vulcan Forge, the PYE token, that's a really, 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 uh, as far as the metaverses go and how they look once you get in there, they have one of the I guess most modern ones that I've seen. I haven't seen anybody put that kind of detail into a metaverse like they have.
Thanks, Vivan. You just reconfirmed about mana and sand. I do feel like they are gonna go high. I was reading some articles, some price predictions for mana, like $10, something like that. Obviously, that's NFA, right? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've been doing some deep research, and I think you're right. I think mana and sand are very early in the game right now, so there is some good potentials, and every day I look out to see what good things are going to be coming up with this metaverse. Like on they also created that Round Hill Bull Metaverse ETF
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that has a bunch of it has Roblox in it, NVIDIA, uh, Unity software, all these things. And I see that moving up a little bit because everything else moved up, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and another good point to let you know, bro, is that anytime that you may feel like you might say, "Hey, I feel like I miss Mana or I miss Decent or miss Sandbox," you could also purchase land there. So if you're purchasing land in the metaverse, rather than the token, you're still giving yourself a really good shot at seeing nice gains, because the more that the metaverse is built out, the more land that you acquire, the more property that you acquire, it's going to be assets in that metaverse. So, and if you have been on Decentraland's metaverse, it's very, very, very first generation, in my opinion. So they have a lot of work that they can build on. So I think Mana definitely has a lot of potential as far as growth goes, because they're still very like to me it reminds me of like the Nintendo days, and we're in PlayStation like 10 days now, so they got a long road. I think and they're gonna get the traction. They've been able to acquire a lot of institutional backing. So, and the same with Sandbox. They still have, like, if you go into some of these other metaverse projects, like the Vulcan Forge, the one I was telling you about, you'll see how much further along their technology is than some of the bigger players. But it's gonna set the bigger players up to start building out and have that same kind of competition.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, where do you purchase land?
You can do it on like through Decentraland. So like the same through that. Like if you're going to go play, Mana, or you go to Decentraland, I think it's .com. You can literally go through there. Same thing with Sandbox. It's just like while you're in the game, you can actually purchase. You can use Sandbox to purchase land, or you can use Mana to purchase land in Decentraland.
Cool. And like, do you build a house and you put your NFTs inside the walls and stuff like that?
Yeah, some people build art galleries. And some people actually take their NFTs and post it in other art galleries. These are going to be things of the future that I think is going to be really cool. But believe it or not, I'm actually not that far into the metaverse. I still I'm still stuck in that time zone between reality and wanting to be in the metaverse. But I do know there are going to be some really cool uh galleries there that you could put your NFTs in for a week, and people could come in and see them. And there's going to be like art shows and exhibits and stuff like that. But yeah, you could purchase all kinds of stuff, from land to houses to cars to galleries to buildings and all kinds of good stuff.
That's awesome. Last week I watched Ready Player One,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
very right for the first time, but you could kind of get the feel of what the metaverse is going to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's going to be the reality. 20 years from now, that'll be more of the reality than the reality we live today. It'll just be how people have always known to grow up and just kind of be in a metaverse type of mind, or in a play to earn type of situation growing up. So that's pretty much what all people are going to know in the future. It's going to be very interesting, But I know right now, it's a great time. And if you think even now, if you think you're late, I mean, think 10 years from now what Decentraland will cost, and and what Sandbox might be priced at. But they seem to be recovering faster than your altcoins right now, or your stable coins. Anytime we have these dips, so that's something that I'm paying attention to, and that's why I'm bullish on the metaverse projects right now.
All right, thank you for that, Vibe. And hey, guys, have a great day.
Thank you, brother. No problem.
You as well.
Scott, what else you looking at in the metaverse?
You forgot about Meta Hero, didn't you? Or did you mention it?
I haven't forgot about Meta Hero, man. The thing about Meta Hero, Scott, that's throwing me off is that they're at $1 billion market cap already. So if they do pick up all the institutional monies and stuff like that, I could see them potentially doing a $10 billion market cap. But man, $100 billion market cap, that's gonna be a lot of road to climb. And it doesn't seem like they're shared. Like when I heard Tim talk about Meta Hero, it didn't seem like they were willing to share their cameras or their technology yet. So that means that something is either preventing them from doing that, or they're still trying to build something that's next level. So it might be a little bit longer than people want to wait as far as the return goes. It's a great DCA project, though. I definitely, anytime I get an extra $100, $200, I would definitely throw it in the metaverse. I mean, in the Meta Hero, especially anywhere between the 7 and 9 cent zone, bro. That's my zone right there.
Yeah, and I still believe in it. I think the thing is why they're not willing to release the scanners and stuff is they do have a friendship or a relationship with Sony right now. So
Yeah, I did read a little bit about that. I didn't know if it was
yeah.
real or if it was a Reddit post that somebody came up
No,
with.
I'm pretty sure they released it. It's real. It's with the Wolfram or whatever that's part of the project.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, they kind of, I bet you they secured something for a little while or working on something. So there won't be an official release like they were gonna do it before. I don't think, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna lead the way when it comes to gaming and getting that player that player image into the game. I think they're gonna definitely lead the charge on that. I mean, those cameras they got are just insane. Like I said, I wish they, like when I go, like like I do like a once a month spot check on these projects, and I just look for partnerships and I look for new partnerships, and I just don't see them coming yet, and I'm just like, why not, man? Like they have the technology. So I don't know why they're hindering their project right now, but I do know they'll be good in the future.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I'm excited just for any metaverse project right now. Like, one person actually discussed it in the news recently and said, "There's no way that one person can own the metaverse," and I truly believe that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think that Facebook can lock down their metaverse. I think that any metaverse that's going to be made is going to have to be transitional. So where people are going to be able to go in between or around. I don't think the Oculus is at that point yet, but I'm betting that they're going to just slowly have to open it up in a way.
Yeah, because I mean, here's what I think. Like the funny thing is, it's like we talk about metaverse and Decentraland. They have their gaming situation set up, but I don't like calling that a metaverse. I don't feel like you're in a metaverse unless you're receiving that virtual experience, right? Like if you don't have on an Oculus and you're not there in another world, to me that doesn't classify as metaverse. To me, that's you have a gaming platform that integrates a different level of gaming, but it's not that quite that virtual experience shit. And like you said, I don't feel like the Oculus is there yet. I think sometime in the first quarter of next year we're gonna see some new headsets coming out. It's gonna be a lot of headsets coming out actually in the first quarter of next year. And I think that's when we're actually gonna get more of the metaverse feel. People are going to get that experience then. They're going to actually know what it's like to be in a metaverse and not actually want to come out of it, because they're, like you said, you're going to be able to build this life and get whatever you ever wanted. Like if you want to live this fantasy lifestyle, there's going to be a metaverse for you.
Well, and the other side of it too is you got to imagine like glasses that people will be wearing where there'll be stuff going around on top of the reality of the world.
That's gonna
right
be
now,
cool, bro.
right?
Like Google Lens, like you're gonna be walking around with Google Lens, and you'll be walking by buildings, and all the ads, all the virtual ads will be just popping up in front of your face, and you can like go up and probably scan the virtual QR code and check out without ever having to walk in that store. It's gonna be crazy. Like the guy that came up and said, the Ready Player One is gonna be like that type of experience for sure.
Yeah,
And I think that the metaverse is also going to help take NFTs to that next level.
Well, this is the thing. Like, if you think about metaverse too, you got to think about wearable technology as well, along with the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of going to be your next step in the metaverse. I think like you got to think two steps ahead in some ways, right? What is
Yeah.
going to come along with that? What are you going to wear for technology that will help implement the metaverse and what's going on?
So you think people are gonna be walking around in like full body suits and skins and like tones and shit? Like,
I think just like accessories and stuff that you can
oh
actually
man,
wear.
life is gonna turn into everyday Halloween situation.
Could you imagine just wearing an accessory that, like, say you're walking down the street and somebody has their Google lenses on or whatever, and then you are looking at them and it changes their whole outfit or whatever,
It
you know
might
what I
change
mean?
their whole look. They might just transform into like a,
Exactly.
yeah, that would be freaky cool, bro. I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm so excited about the future, man. It's like it's gonna be weird because it's not the reality that I'm used to experiencing, but like I'm not afraid of new experiences, right? Like I love trying new stuff, and I just feel like this is gonna be that next step to evolution. You know, like every like 20, maybe in between 20 30 years, you have something that comes in and happens that changes the game, right? Um, and you could think about that all the way back to the warehouse days, you know, just industrializing economies and stuff like that. But this is going to be that new wave, man. It's going to bring that in all the new money. It's going to bring in all the kids. And then, like I was talking about a little bit yesterday, you're talking about bringing in a workforce now, where most people have to be 14 to work. Kids can play video games from the time they can get on they can understand what's going on the console. So you're going to open up a whole new workforce in the world. So it's going to be a lot of money flowing into the play to earn games, and there's just going to be a lot of demand for it.
No, I agree with you. Do you know what would be kind of cool is if someone came up with it right now? I'm throwing out all my ideas to you guys, but that's okay. But a privacy app like that you would have like a wearable. So
Mm-hmm.
when people are going by with your Google glasses and stuff like that, it would actually block out your image or your you in their actual
You might need
glasses.
that just in case, like, so they don't battle you while you're not ready, right? You like out with your girl trying to get some food, and somebody runs up on you and fights you for your skins.
Can
You're like,
you
yo, I
imagine?
wasn't ready, bro. I wasn't ready.
Can you
It's
imagine
just gonna
people
be
having
funny.
Star Wars fights in the middle of the street? You're looking at them like, what the hell is going on?
It would be like, you remember when they had the thing with Pokemon, like where you could like find the little Pokemon balls, or like, you remember that like a few years
Oh
back?
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be like that, but like that's gonna be the real reality, right? Like we seen how much of a frenzy that caused back in those days, and that was before people were I would hate to say the word, but people are as hype as they are now. Like it's so easy to see the hypeness in the world now. Like back then, you really had to sell somebody something to get them hype. Now you can word it right, and it's pandemonium, right? Like so, I can only imagine when the masses get involved with this, it's just going to be the next leg up.
Well, especially when you get big business behind it, like your Amazons, your Tesla. All these people are starting probably to work on the wearable technologies and different things. Almost guarantee it.
Well, they better be building the vibe because that's what I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a walking vibe. That's all I want to be.
yeah. Just all these moving colors as you're walking by.
Yeah. But make sure you guys, if you're listening, check out the PYR. That's the ticker. It's called Vulcan Forge. They have a really cool. They really have a cool metaverse, man. I just like I said, I know I haven't ever talked about buying an Oculus, and when I went to their website, I literally was talking about buying an Oculus. I'm like, yo, I gotta try this. But I'm afraid, like when I played video games, when I was growing up, I was that kid that like didn't never sign off the video game. Like I would like get a whooping, like like get told to go to bed. I would stay up all night. I would skip school. Like we used to have gaming tournaments at my friend's house, so we would always skip class. And like I was an habitual gamer, so I'm like I had to like wing myself off of gaming. So like that's the only reason I'm like scared to get back into it because I know how like involved I get when I like something. Like I go crazy.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that. I had one friend that was into World of Warcraft back in the day, and he actually would call in sick to his job and stuff and not show up and actually get fired from a couple of his jobs because it was all about World of Warcraft. Man, he was so addicted to it, and that was his entire life. Like, it was insane, absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
And look, that was before the play to earn feature came out. So imagine if he was actually receiving any form of payment. Man, he would have been like, fuck a bath, fuck eating. He would have just been like, screw everything. Like, I'm all about this game. But that's the way it was. Like, anybody who's ever gamed, if you got into a game that you were really into or your friends were into, it was very hard to stop playing that. Like, for us, it was like the Madden days, like we would literally skip school to see who was the best Madden player and have like 20 guys from my school there all battling like with our lunch money. No big money was at stake, but we felt like it was everything at the time.
I think that's something else I had to add to the title is gamify. Like, right now, that's gonna be huge in the next little while, just as big as the metaverse. And when you combine the two as well, it's gonna be a big market.
Yeah,
the
I think
the
that's
games that we have right now are like, I mean, you do have Axie Infinity, and some of the other ones are coming out with horse racing, dog racing, a couple of different projects that they're actually implementing. But I mean, the games are still a long ways off. I'm waiting for the first like MMO game with blockchain technology in it, where you're buying and selling items for actual like tokens or whatever, and like that kind of thing. I could see that happening in the future too.
Yeah, I think that would be cool, man. Like I do know that there's some projects out that do have games coming out. However, the only ones that I've seen that came out on my side or that came into maybe a AMA with us, they weren't actual mobile games, and I think that that's going to be very critical for any project that's taking on gamify or getting into gaming because you're gonna have to do it so it's no mobile. I mean, it's more it's just a lot more convenient. So I did want to play. I was interested in. And I don't want to talk about the project, but I was interested a lot in this project, and I wanted to play it. And they was like, "Oh no, you got to be on the desktop." And I'm like, "All right, for that, I don't want to play no more."
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was actually a mobile MMO style game, but I mean, the computers and your game systems definitely have better graphics and stuff than what a phone has
Oh my
right at
god,
the
did you
moment. So
did you hear about Atari actually accepting the old Atari system as an NFT now? Like if
I
you
didn't.
have your old Atari game system, they'll help you turn it into an NFT, like Atari
Oh,
will. Yeah,
that's
that's gonna.
crazy.
Yeah, I read some news about that yesterday. That's like pretty cool. Like it's good to see Atari coming back and getting into the newest technology of it all because I didn't actually get a chance to play Atari. That was a little bit before my day. But I remember the console. Like I remember it. I don't remember any of the games, but I remember that one. Like I think I got involved like at Sega Genesis with Sonic, and then I was like hooked. Oh my god, that reminds me. Why isn't there a Sonic token?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, if you look back at my history, like, the first thing that my dad was huge into video games. So like, we started out with the Commodore, and then the Commodore went to the Sega. Sega went to, I believe I moved up to the Super Nintendo, and then the Super NES, and then the Game Gear, and then like transitioning up to the PlayStations and different things. Like, that was a fun time as a kid. Like, the games that they had, even like back in the day in Sega, playing like Double Dragons or any of those games were so fun. Like, it was
did
a
you
little funner than the games now, I find.
did you have like a Game Boy? You remember what Game Boy was? So it was like the first like handheld like
Yeah, so my
Nintendo type
version,
system.
when Game Boy was out, I actually had Game Gear. So I don't know if you ever heard of the Game Gear, but the Game Gear was like the colored version of a Game Boy. So you could play like Ninja Gaiden and like Sonic the Hedgehog and all sorts of stuff. And it
Nah,
was
I,
actually a
I
really
wasn't that
cool
blessed.
system. It was amazing. Like, the Sega Game Gear was ahead of its time. Like, if I
When I
still could
checked
find
her,
one, I
because
honestly would probably play it. Like,
she
it
cannot
is really
breathe,
fun.
and I looked at
Yeah, I
her.
mean, I think the older games were fun, man. Like those older games, there's just like something about them, man. Like I used to play Mario Brothers for
I
hours and
didn't
hours
call
at a time. Me and
911.
my brothers, we beat the whole thing, and then go to the Mario Brother 2 and Super Mario
Because
Brothers
she
3.
feels better
I
after
still
the
remember like some of
OT.
the backdoor secrets for Mario Brothers, even to this day.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, your PSPs. Like you think about your PSP, I had those. I still actually have my original one and just replaced the battery in it for my son so he could try it. Like, I probably got like 15, 20 games for that thing, and that just brings back old memories.
Yeah, man, you should keep all that stuff. It's very nostalgic. And then again, like if you see Atari, they're letting people take their old consoles and turn them into NFTs. I'm pretty sure PlayStation will come around and do pretty much some of the same thing.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Like some of those games actually have gained in value as well too.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of becoming like a collector's item
Okay.
in a way.
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, those all of that
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I think if you still, I remember like a few years ago before they started making the mini Nintendo systems that you could just hook up to anything.
I don't
Like,
know why she still have
you like if you
commitment
had a
to the
Nintendo
group.
system, it was worth like some like
I
maybe
just
like
normally remove it
$1,500, and
when
that was
she's
like a
out
cheaper
of
gaming
the
console back in the day.
thing.
Hey,
I
Magnet,
used to
I see you here. Oh, and Eugene, I see you trying to talk. You can talk first if you want, Eugene.
I used to play. I had the first Sony PlayStation, right? And I would play
That's
SOCOM
yours?
like all
Oh
day,
my
all week.
god, bro, that is throwback. That oh my god, that's my game.
Dude, I had to buy this adapter so it could work with Wi-Fi, and then like configure it so I could get on the internet with it. And then you have your clan, right? And you go out and you just I loved all the maps, right? All the maps were made except for the one that was underground, looked like a spider web or something. But um that was
Yeah.
so much
I
fun, like to
I
go through
I
town. You're running
don't
around through town, you're
pass it
planting
off.
bombs, you're shooting up people, or
I pass
sniping
it
was the
off that
best,
she's
man.
having a difficulty
Yeah, man, that
breathing,
sniping, that
but
sniping
her
was everything, bro.
SpO2
Like
is
I can't even
horrible
lie.
with
You
the
got me hyped when you
oxygen
just said
here.
that, man. Like y'all gonna turn me back into a gamer, low key.
That's what I remember. I remember SOCOM, but I also remember on the computer there was this game called Delta Force back in the day, and I was like one of the best. That was one of the first like
Yeah.
uh, player multiplayer style game for
Yeah.
online computers, and it was amazing. Go ahead, you talk though, Magnet. I know you have your hand up, and tell
We
us
have
what you
we
think.
have
Hey,
a
what's up, man?
order
Good to
from the
meet you guys.
doctor
What's up, brother?
I'm glad to be here.
before when
I'm
she
sure we've
had
all been on a journey to
the first
arrive to
time we
places
put the
like this, right?
oxygen on
Talk
her.
Oh
about
yeah,
these kind of things. Hey,
I
have you
love.
guys? Go ahead.
I I see your title. It says your Enjin MFT holder and OVR, the reality ambassador. Can you
Yep,
tell
right
us a
here.
little bit about that, or?
Yeah, absolutely, sure, man. So I've been in the
Okay.
space. Obviously, I was on the journey, of course, prior to arriving to this crypto space. Um, but yeah, it's early 17 before the big bull run. Thankfully, kind of got my start in Bitcoin. I felt like I was early. And then into that year, all of a sudden, people in the office were talking about Bitcoin. It was a really cool experience. But yeah, man, discovered Enjin in the process,
I
and
just don't know
that's
if
one thing that I sort of tuned into. I just blew my mind when I first kind of discovered NFTs. Right, like I saw like this collector's channel and like these like NFTs that people were trading, and it's like, what is this NFT? And it just I knew it was big, man. But yeah, so I got super
okay.
involved in the Enjin community. Ended up with an Enjin MFT, which is considered a multiverse founders token, and they get locked to your wallet because you're essentially supposed to be like a founder of the multiverse. Which then later this term metaverse has been, now just like streaming hard, right? So I don't know. It's a big discussion. In fact, I just put a tweet out that Enjin just retweeted, man. So guys, check out that tweet and get involved in the conversation if you want. But I'd love to see that conversation kind of heat up because
You can pin it at
it's
the top
this.
if you want to, Magnet.
What was that? What was that?
You can pin that tweet at the top of this spaces.
I appreciate that, man. I've never done that before.
Only thing you got to do is go over to your tweet and then go to hit the arrow like you're about to send it to somebody, and it should pop right up at the top to the space that you're in.
Appreciate that, man.
Because the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time
Let me
Let's
see
she
if
talk
I
about it.
told
let me see
me
if I can do that.
when, because I did her the first
Look,
time
see,
with
you learn something new
BigONE,
every
she
day.
told
I
me
do, man, no doubt. I
either
just
I
kind of
call
decided to get
911
involved in the
or get
Twitter,
a doctor's
Yeah,
order.
me
Twitter
too, man. I
space.
think I think
So I
Twitter
got the
like
doctor's
Twitter didn't
order, but
bring me
I
to
don't
Bitcoin, but
know
Twitter brought me to
who Dr.
BSC.
Imran
You know,
is
like
that
Twitter
day.
taught me Twitter taught me about BSC and it teaches you like the network. Just like learn how to network
So
again.
I
Just
asked
online, and it's fun.
Ines to
Dude, that's where it's at, man. All right, so here's the tweet. I'm gonna hit this little send. So I hit copy link. Is that what I do?
No, no, no. So you go to your tweet So if you're at
Yep.
your tweet on your page, then what
Right.
you do is you go to that tweet and then you hit the little arrow button, like the
Okay.
little, and then it should be right at the top. It says share tweet, and then the first thing it should say is Metaverse who will lead the way. You just click right there.
Yeah. All right. See if you guys can see this tweet.
Yeah, I
Yep,
see it.
it's right up there.
And Enjin actually responded right away.
Oh, you're my friend. You're my friend for sure, man. You're Enjin and Polka Dot. Yeah, we're friends already.
All right, my friend. But yeah, good deal. Well, I think it's kind of an interesting topic, especially for anybody that's involved in Enjin and that they're in tune with what's going on with Affinity and their new Polkadot oriented parachain. You know, and it's because the term multiverse has been around for a while with them, and it's like, how does that fit in with with the so it's this kind of like ongoing discussion. But yeah, and what I was going to ask you guys, relevant to the conversation when I jumped on, we were talking about gaming. Have you guys played any of the blockchain games that are out?
I've tried a couple. Like I tried Axie really quickly. I never got into it. Like I'm looking for the right blockchain game to actually catch myself. I just feel like sometimes some of these blockchain games are not where it's at yet. Like they're not at that level.
I'm with you, man. And I come from the old gamer days too, right? Like, just the ones you were talking about. I think I had a Game Gear, man.
Yeah, they're fun. Like I even thought like, and I seen Ultima Online is actually coming out with a new game right away, and I was hoping in some ways because it was on a cryptocurrency website that I seen it. I was like, please tell me they're gonna make a blockchain game, please.
Did you like Mortal Kombat back in the day?
Oh yeah, I like Mortal Kombat. I was good. I was kind of one of those button pushers though that just was able to win by pure luck.
At least you're honest.
Dude, like, okay, so what got me back into gaming was this game called Nine Lives Arena. It's on Enjin, and I'm not like an Enjin maxi necessarily at all. I've been there
Tell
for a
us
minute.
about it, man. Tell us
But
about
it,
it.
but it's like where I got my start with NFTs. Right now, I'm doing lots of other things, but too. But man, Nine Lives Arena is epic, dude. They're working on scaling and stuff right now, and they're getting ready for the like going like full on. But I mean, I don't know, man. It just really gets you thinking about what's possible with games. Like it feels like you're in the metaverse when you're playing. Like, the art, the digital art is incredible. Okay, so
who did the sanitizing of
it,
the
it, it
room?
also too, like, if
Who get hair out of the isolation?
just too, the concept with Enjin, right? Like you own, like you used to, you know play with certain items in your game, and if you're done with the game, that's it, your item's gone, right? Like now, okay, if you have a sword, in the game that you earned or whatever, you can hold it in your wallet, trade it in the open marketplace, right? Come back, play the game 5 years later, and your stuff is still there, So I think that concept right there is, utility for NFTs, like at another level,
Well,
gamified.
that would be like MMO style games too, like the same idea, like your armor, your boots, your shoes, your equipment, your mounts, even like in MMO could be NFTs. Like all that stuff could be implemented into an NFT blockchain game, and that's what I'm hoping for in the end is a game like that where like if you get a rare drop, you're actually making good dough when you get it.
Yeah, so I think the concept in Nine Lives Arena is like with the NFTs is that you own certain blueprints that you can then this is another funny thing to learn about with this game is you have an oogie. I wish I had a picture of this guy. I'd start sharing stuff, but
I'm actually looking at this stuff right now. Now that you're talking about it, keep on going. I just read
dude,
where
yeah,
it works for you 24/7. But go ahead.
yeah. Like you have this little oogie guy that like he's like basically he works for you, and you send him on little quests and stuff so that you collect all the stuff that you need to make and craft like stuff you need to fight, like gear, like weapons, like for your fighting, like your skins and everything.
Yes,
He crafts them out of your blueprints. But the cool thing about that is I think they intend to um
hahanapin ko nga.
allow you to be able to convert these into NFTs
send
is
ko sa kanya.
what they're talking about. Like, so the stuff that
Here's
you
your
meant
wearables.
out
Kaya
of
yung
your
mga
blueprints
message niya,
that you
hindi
already
mo
own, it's kind of like the blueprint to crafting that you can
Ganyan
then
yung tapat
sell to
kinikita
players
yan
when the
ni
game goes really big.
pag ano
You know, they won't trade for the
sinasabi
same
ko.
prices that
Ilan
blueprints
ba
will, I'm
na
sure.
September yung matandang
But
yan,
you know,
no?
if somebody wants to rock an epic, cool outfit, you know, they can scoop an item from you that you crafted. But it's
Yung
like you got to
una,
really put the
talagang hindi
grind
ako
in, man,
kumuha. Nilagyan ko lang ng
to
ano.
mint
Kasi
gear, to
ang
craft
alam ko
gear,
kasi,
because
may
you know, you
standing
need all
order
this
tayo
stuff in
ng
order to,
oxygen.
you know, be
Kaya
able to
nung ano
craft.
ko sa kanya,
Like you got to
hindi
collect,
daw
you know,
natin kesya.
leather, you got to collect,
Yun ang gusto niya
you know,
ang
you got to keep
ayusin
Oogie
ko.
fed, man, so he has energy to
Hindi
go
siya
do this
nagbabayad
work
ng
for you.
cash sa
You know,
akin,
you got to
nagbayad
keep
siya
him
ng
happy.
gift.
And but beyond the crafting aspect, the reason why I said you like Mortal Kombat is because, dude, the fights are epic, man. So fun, and the camaraderie, like
Ano?
the people that you kind of get to know in the game a little bit. You know, it's I don't know,
Dapat
man. I
pala
just think it's really
sinabi ko,
cool.
change of condition. Eh, independent siya.
Uh, you know, I don't. For
Di ba
me,
yan sabi
just
mo
getting
sa akin, pag
started in
independent?
like blockchain gaming is really important. Like, if you want to, like,
Dapat
kind of
ganyan sinagot ko, no?
catapult out to the leading edge of like utility for NFTs, I think it's really
Eh,
important to tune
antayin niya.
into because it's so
I-report siya ni
relevant
si
to what's
Enjin.
happening, right? Like,
Pirma ko doon.
uh, you
I
know,
posted the Oogie up at the top for you guys so you can see it.
there you go, dude.
Kaya nga, tapos tatanungin ako
That's
saan
your little
galing yung
oog right there,
oxygen.
man, and
Gago
he's
ka
just
ba?
such a
Diyan
friendly
ko
little
lang
character,
nakuha.
man.
Nandun sa room niya, sabi ko.
And
That's why I've been quiet.
In
I've
her
just been over
room.
here on the website looking at it. It's pretty cool. So you keep on talking about it. I'm gonna keep looking at
uh,
it.
dude, so
Eh,
you
ako
gotta
nga ang may
fish. You gotta
ma-gain
fish to catch fish
O,
to
di ba
feed
nagka-COVID?
oogie so that you have stuff. And then
O.
when you got all the stuff you need and you feel strong and
Ang
ready and ripe
naiintindihan ko
and
kasi sa kanya, dapat
well
bigyan
refined and
tayo
ready
ng
for some
ano
fights,
ho
you
ang
go into
hindi
the
at
arena.
pwede natin gawin sa independent. Yun
Oh,
ang
that's
And
dapat niyang gawin.
huh?
Kaya nga, sabihin
is
ko,
the
Yeah, man.
graphics really
mamaya pag
good or
inalutang ko't
Dude,
nandyan
that's
kami sa work,
dude, the
sabihin ko, you
graphics are
should put
insane,
there
man.
what you
Like,
will, what
I haven't
is
played
the
games
thing
in a long
that we
time,
can
so when you
do
show back up
for the
after, like, you know,
independent.
Super
Just call
Nintendo days,
911.
and you
Di
hop
ba?
into a
Ang
game like
sabi niya
this
sa
with
akin
like
nun,
all the right
wag na
gear,
call, hindi
like you need a
natin
good graphics card if
papabigay.
you want to really experience what it's like.
Tatawag tayo
You know, you get
911.
your
Ay,
headset
minsan tumawag
on,
ako, bakit daw
and
hindi inano? Eh, sabi ko tumawag
I
ako
don't know, man.
911.
It's like, you know, because you can. It's very much what's the word I'm looking for? But like, it's very 3D.
Abs
You can
nga po
zoom
siya,
up
di
above your
mapinay.
guy, around your guy.
Busy.
so are when you
Zoom
say
in.
headset, what headset are you using?
Oh man, I couldn't even tell you. I just got one from like Best Buy that the guy recommended. You know, for good sound.
Hindi naman pag gusto ko pang sabihin,
Uh,
Is it like
bakit
a headset
ilagay
just
naman akong
to
cover,
listen to the
cover? Eh,
game,
pwede
or is it
natin
actually like
patugtugin mo muna yung
a
mga
metaverse
tugtog.
headset kind of deal?
Eh, di
yeah,
ba
I just got
sabi ko,
one that a good gamer guy like spoke highly of at the
ito,
at
hindi
Best
mo pa
Buy.
ba nilagay,
This
hindi mo
one
pa
had
lang
like a
nagtanong?
3D sound like
Napakagaling ng
option,
manager.
and when I hit that button, man, it really does give it like another level of clarity. You want one with a mic too because
Oy, ba't naman ngayon lang nag-break
like
up?
in this game you don't like talk to people live,
Ano
but
ba
you
yung kanina
could through like
nakiketchin?
Discord, which is kind of fun too. Like you'll talk smack to like your buddy while you're fighting him, you know.
Yeah,
Kaya
for
nga,
So
sure.
kung sinabi ni Daniel,
or
ba't di
or
mo
the
swap? Hindi pwedeng
not
iswap.
even so
3
much talk
months
smack. I
kailangan.
gotta
Sabi
say,
ko,
like
for 8 days
everybody in that
lang.
community wants to teach you. You know,
Well,
they want
that's
to
the
help.
important part.
Yeah.
So, how do you download the game, or actually go look at the game? Is there a website for it, or?
Yeah, I mean, what I did
Uy,
was join the
sumisyon.
Telegram because I learned about it via Enjin,
Eh,
and
kaya yung
then
sinabi niya, akala
I heard
naman
people
niya
talking about it
eh,
for a while. I was like, man, I
mag-aano,
want to try that out. That one
mag-aano
it
ako na
feels like.
nung
And
sinabi
then
niya,
you
ano.
know,
Eh,
join the
kaya sabi
Telegram, and
ko talaga,
then
sinabi ko, ang sabi mo sa
it's
akin
really
po,
cool because you can be
it's
like in
either,
close communication with the
ako na yung
developer and
mag,
stuff
or
like that. Like
I can get an
in
order,
Telegram, like just kind of get, you know, always kind of have a feel of like
Eh, gusto mo, bakit
what's
kayo
being worked on.
makapagsabi?
You know,
Sabi
it's
ko, sana
nice. And
sinabi mo na lang na tumawag ako
yeah, and
911
so
at
many that the community is just so
nagtotor ka pa.
strong, and so there's so much experience there.
Di ba?
And then you know, you can buy
Gusto mo ba na
access
natin
just through
change in condition na
the
tumawag
website.
lahat ng 911?
You know, make sure you're in the right
O eh
place.
bakit si 45? Change in
But I mean,
condition,
you can.
tinawagan mo ba ang
Um,
911?
and yeah, you just kind of go from there. You download the game and whatnot. But there's so many games to check out. That's just one that I haven't gotten around to. A lot of the ones I want to try.
Eh, change in condition nga daw.
Well, there's so many. Well, there's starting to be. I've heard a lot about.
Kaya dapat daw pag independent,
Did we lose Scott?
SPO 281 to 82. Only I started 2 liters of
Hey,
Did
did
we
we
lose
lose
It's
Scott?
somebody?
actually
gas. I don't know
crazy
what
when
type of
you get
incident,
a
but the
CRA
decision
call
is
or
failed
a
already. What
fraud
IMS
scam
called?
call.
No.
Ay.
Sabi ko na, I got busy already
You got one of them
on
blockchain calls.
Harold Neurovital.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, step calling
Oh
the
boy.
doctor when I in
It
the...
was from Twitter.
Okay,
They
for
was calling to
sure,
ask you
sure.
about how was
Ito
the
na, ito
spaces.
na.
Yeah,
Ito na.
it's like
They let you do
in
your
the
review.
states, you probably get, hey, this is the IRS officer,
Okay, for
such
the
and such.
future, as
Your
soon as you
SIN
put
number is
oxygen
being
in
used in
sample, you need to
something
be called
horrible, and you need to call
EMS
us
or
right now or stay
physician to
on the line to speak to
continue.
an officer.
Mm.
And sometimes I like
Someone
wasting
that
their
needs
time and
oxygen,
talking to
that's
them
an
and getting them
emergency.
all
That's
riled up and worked
hospitalization.
up. But not today.
Oxygen is
I'm
considered
in the
an
space, so I just
expenditure
hung
and
up.
LPNs are only
No, we don't get
$200
anything
two
like that. It's more
liters per minute in an
like the phone
emergency.
companies got better. So when
But
our
as
phone
soon
rings,
as the sun's
if
come
it's a
up, they need
telemarketer,
an
it says
order to
telemarketer.
continue.
Oh,
Yes,
here
ma'am.
it
Not
does not.
loaded.
Like they found a way in Canada that they can actually dial up local phone
Oh,
numbers and stuff, or phone numbers of people and things, and
Kunyari,
so you
oo.
actually think it's a person calling, or
Yeah,
it could be
yeah,
a
yeah.
call from Ontario or a 1-800 number, and you don't know who it is. They need to do a
Meron
lot of
sinabi sa
improvement
akin
in Canada
na
versus the
dapat pahingan
states.
ako si Harold.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Consulting daw.
But you know what's
Every
crazy, man? These little
patient.
Ubis are fucking. They're pretty cool, man. It's. I think they
Sabi
said
ko
it was
naman,
3 trillion of them though.
sinagot ko pa rin yung
Out there.
video eh. Sabi,
So that would
32,000 na
be
yata,
like.
ganun.
But I like the option if you win something,
Sabi
you
niya
could
sa
take it
akin.
and use it as an NFT. Like these
Bakit
play to earn
pahingan
games
ako
are
si
going to be different.
Harold na
They're going to be super fun
neurovitas
for people.
kung pwede naman daw na ano, sabi ko,
Scott,
the brain is
what other game have
already
you tried on the
stable.
on your Oculus that you have or that your son plays?
Like I've went into VR space, which is kind of cool. They have like a whole area. I've went into the actual meta, so
Ewan ko sa
Facebook has
akin.
opened up the meta that you can go in and play. Like there's a zombie shooting game in there. My
Did you go
son,
back to your high school?
no, no. My son went to
Kailan naman bigla
what did
naging
he likes that one
busy.
called a rec room where you can actually play paintball online, like
Hindi ka
against
naman
other people. You can
wala ka
play
naging,
with a sniper rifle or handguns.
ano
I
ka
haven't
na
even
ngayon,
looked
hindi
at
ka
it, to
ngayon
be honest. Like
mag-BFF. Ano
I'm the
hindi ka
worst.
naman mag-BFF?
The Oculus was for
Hindi
me, and
kami naging
I'm lucky if
mag-BFF
I log
yan.
in there once a week for like 20 minutes and then put it down and then never grab it again.
Sinan ko yan ngayon,
So you haven't made it life yet.
No, I
Wala,
can't have that
naka-11 nga
addiction. Like,
ako.
especially being working in cryptocurrency full time the way that
Serious.
I am. Like, I just don't have time to sit there and
Second day of
like
PLDT,
once the cryptocurrency world evolves into the metaverse, then 100%
Hindi
I'll be there all
doon
the
kami
time or whatever. But
nagpa-sign.
right now it's not there yet. Like even the
Ayoko.
meta,
O,
like when you
diba?
go there, you
O,
can
ka
see
ngayon?
that there's so much. They have 10,000 people working on it. I
Nag-email ako
hope they
sa'yo.
work a bit quicker because the
Bakit mo
meta versus
inanswer?
even like the VR, I think they call it VR, alt VR spaces or whatever.
Sabi ko,
You can see the
mamaya
differences
sasabihin mo ay
between
Josie.
those two and the actual quality on
Hindi na
Oculus
natapos yan.
of
Nag-beg
one
lang.
versus
Bakit?
the other. Like it's incredible. There's so much work that needs to be done, and these guys
Yeah,
got to be quicker.
they're a little glitchy, but
Pero
it's new.
three.
But I'll tell you something else that launched today. If you guys want to know another blockchain game that launched today, was the Battle of the Guardians. That was launched today, and that's going to be an NFT game that you also can earn rewards in by fighting. And it's player to player. It's going to be on
Sarap-sarap
PC,
ng buko
iOS,
ko nung nag-QQQ
Android.
kasi
So it's going to be supported across multiple blockchains
Galing nga,
and stuff
nasinabi
like
siya
that
na
as well. I
tumawag
believe.
siya.
Let me see. Yeah.
Bilis.
And they also have their own token, which is the BGS token and the FP token.
Oo nga,
But
ewan ko
the
ba?
BGS is the main currency of the Battle of the Guardians, and the FP is it's just integral, just as like another part of their little system
Sa susunod, di ko na yung tanong
ecosystem.
sasagutin.
I could. Do you know what I'd like to see is even uh like a Minecraft. My kid plays Minecraft or whatever, to actually like play Minecraft and find like rare materials or whatever and be able to sell them.
Oo nga.
That'd
They're,
be cool.
they're doing that right now with Moon River. Is doing that if I'm not mistaken. They're building something like that. I haven't got into it, but yeah, it's almost just like the adult version of Minecraft. But yeah, you can go in there and help them build out the world right now, like I guess it's the world that they're building out in there. But you can find little jewels and stuff, and people have been finding some crazy NFTs, and they've been worth like like a few mover, and that's pretty good.
Well, and
It's like
the funny
something
thing is, like,
pagbalik.
I've been hearing about, like Minecraft. I've watched my son a bit. I don't play it very much, but I've tried it once in a blue moon. But there's actually physics in these games, like these new games and stuff.
Eh, ang problema
You
dyan,
actually have their own, like, not even our physics in our world. They have their own physics in the game. So, like, if you don't know the physics of the game, if you do know, you have an advantage, right? If you don't know, like my son knows so much about it and knows that certain things do certain actions, and it's just wild to
buti lang,
watch. Like,
alas 10 pa
I
lang,
don't think I'd have the
makakapag-relax
time to
na.
sit there and do it though either.
I know. Eh, kung alas 2 yan, saka siya tumawag, tanginang yan.
Can
May
everyone
pumunta
still
ng
hear me? I hope
sasakyan,
so.
may mga
Yeah, we can still hear
sasakyan,
you. I actually
nakakatulog
had
yung
my mic off when I was
PlayStation.
talking, but I was like, that's going to be like that AI side of it, like that AI computing game side of it, and like the AI computing applications. That's what I think Meta is going to be kind of fueled off of, and they partnered with Oasis recently too, to do that. So they're definitely going to build something that's going to have AI technology and kind of appeal to each person, to kind of place them in a metaverse where they feel like they fit. That's the only thing I don't like about I feel like about the Facebook side of it, but that's how I think their metaverse is going to play into with AI technology.
Well, and I think, even if I'm not mistaken, I believe the guy that runs Facebook there, he kind of said that the meta needs to be a bit more
Bakit ba sira yung
decentralized.
isang
So
piraso?
I hope that that's true, that he
Ano
doesn't
ako?
centralize it and he actually
Tingnan mo naman.
decentralizes it a bit
Lalo,
more, because that's what's going to evolve the game quicker,
bigla na
right?
lang
Is
ano.
that
Kaya nga sabi
actual
ko, aba, ganito
decentralization
ba?
versus centralization. Like, and I'm not against centralization, obviously, like working for the exchange that I do, but I do feel that there's a need for decentralization too as well to evolve
Eh, di ba
quicker.
pinauwi niyo si Rain?
Yeah, no, the
O,
the the
magre-reklamo na naman si
centralization will
Rain.
bring about mass adoption faster, like with Meta and stuff like that. But yeah, the decentralized side, just it's just like a place of comfort. Like you got to build worlds for everybody to feel comfortable in. So I think the decentralized side,
Tapos
it's like
ginagawa pala ng
they can do like some mischievous shit if they want, and it's still cool. And then the centralized side can just be more of an open world protocol that people work in. And I think that's what's gonna
Kaya
this
nga.
like in the future, that's kind of what's gonna be getting built out. That's why I
Pero
think
ang
if you look at gamer tokens right
pinapakinggan ko
now,
si Rain
like I
sa
said, they've been recovering faster from dips
sinisigawan
than
niya.
most of our
Sinisigawan.
blue chip tokens and our altcoins.
Which
So
is sabi ko,
that tells
yes.
you how they're going to be positioned in
Talaga
this
namang
bull run.
seryoso siya.
Especially gamer tokens are likely to not financial
Kaya
advice,
talaga
but they're
niyang
likely to
sinasigawan.
have a higher or faster run to the top. Just because they're going to be building in the future faster
Eh,
than some of the
kinakagat
other
sa
products that we're
bangis mo
coming
habang
that
nagsasalita,
aren't
no?
going to market. So
Yung
anything on the
itong
layer one side, I'd be
BigONE,
paying
sabi
close
mo,
attention
sa
to,
bang
as well as
crossover,
GamerFi tokens,
crossover.
and then you could always just look up on something like DeFi Llama, how
Kasi natin
who's
sa
building on whose
NFTs,
protocol,
kailangan
and then
1 hour video.
that's another place you could go to find like newer tokens. That's how I kind of find some of the little gems that I find. Their low market cap, probably building on something like Solana or Ocean, or if Oasis just did this partnership with
Di ba sabi ko nga,
Are you
bakit
still there?
kailangan
I
ko
might
Sorry, I
have cut
lost
out.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
i-stock ko
yeah, I
yung
had a
gold
phone
ko
call
na
come in.
natutulog nang
But
pwede
yeah,
naman
I don't know where I
mamaya
got cut off at, but
i-order na.
they're gonna, you can look on this site and find these little jewels and see what blockchain
Nag-order
they're
pa
building
naman
on, and
tayo.
take advantage of that
Yung
information.
order naman
But yeah,
natin,
I'd definitely be paying
pre-COVID
attention
pa
to
yun.
the GamerFi
Hindi pa
tokens,
tayo
anything that's
nag-open.
Web3 or
Bago
Layer
tayo
ones.
nagka-COVID.
They're gonna have a high use case coming up in this next year or two.
That's
Di ba?
awesome. Hey, Magnet, so are you a big Gary V fan as well? I see.
Kaya, wala naman
Hey there,
tayong
friend.
magawa.
Yeah, man. I enjoy Gary Vee's energy, man. I feel like he's out there trying to make a difference, right? Like, I definitely gather that from him and his V
Sabi
Friends
ko nga, yung
project and some
order
other
natin
things
ng
he's doing.
oxygen, eh, hindi sa
Quite
COVID.
amazing.
Yung cover
Yeah,
order nung
I guess
nagkari-kari.
what you're looking at maybe is, um, I think the physical NFTs are going to
Tapos
be
na
big too, right?
ngayon,
Like
kung sino yung gumawa, yun ang
that
tatanggap.
collaboration with
Yan ang gusto
Uniquely.
niya.
That's a painting of a CryptoPunk.
Kunwari,
Uh,
sabi niya ba't hindi ka
with his
gumawa?
V
So,
friends
gusto niya ngayon
and
mangyari.
the original painting signed by Gary V. and obtained by
open
uniquely
ko
and
pa yun
minted
si
and
Bernice
everything and auctioned
na
and whatever
kailangan
and
maggawa ng order. Ako
yeah, man, I
kukuha ng
think that's a
order.
leading edge
So,
thing.
pag kailangan
I
gano'n,
think
o
right now
okay,
that merch is
nagawa
going
ko,
to be
mag-order din
really,
ako
really,
uuwi, magbabayad
really
sa OT.
an epic component. Like maybe even something that involves, helps bring people into the space, right? Like if certain, celebrities are
Oras sa
rocking,
oras.
certain merch, people pay attention, So, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like for example, like Jimmy Fallon
Kaya
now
nga, di ba may endorsement?
just recently, aped in from what I
Ay, baka
understand.
hindi ko sabihin, pag hindi nag-reply,
And
i-resign mo na sa ospital.
yeah, I mean, people are going to start like asking questions like, "What are these apes?" That everybody has on their Twitter as their Twitter profile
Alam mo,
picture, and
dapat
then it's
pala
like,
sabihin natin
well,
sa kanya,
dang, I want to like, you know,
dahil pag
have
mga
some,
independent,
and
tumawag ka ng
I don't know,
fake
man. I
independence,
think there's a lot of, I think
napakatagal.
that whole space is wide open, and
So, nandoon ka,
there's certain projects that are out there doing really cool things.
wala
So
ka nang nagawa.
I try to
Well,
track those.
I can't wait for the sandbox side of stuff. Like I have a bit of money in that right now, and
Yeah,
I'm super pumped for that to launch or
right.
Eh,
having the
paano pag
ability to play in
nagkukuha
there. You
sila
can
ng
play
mga
in
post nila,
Decentraland
sinasabi
already,
nila,
but I
there's a
really want to play in the
24/7
sandbox since I'm
assistant.
more of an
Yun yung
investor in
mga
that
yun eh.
Me
than
too.
Decentraland.
I can't wait, man. Isn't it like coming up like end of the month or something? Alpha, like what? Like
Well,
Pag
I
nag-batch
think
sila,
they're going to allow a certain amount of people in to
20,
actually try it,
29th,
25.
yeah.
sabi
No,
ko
it's
nga,
going to be to
magbabayad
29th.
ako.
It's going to be 10,000 people. I think between 5 and
do you have
10,000.
do you have to buy a ticket or something like that?
Shit, I just did a news article on this the other day. I should know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's hard
But
to kind of like know. Yeah,
Oy,
it's like you got to be
nasa
so in tune
nag-register
all
po
the
kayo kung
time.
ano yung sasabihin
That's
niyo.
cool. You did, man. I want to check your article.
Expectation na naman.
yeah, we do them on YouTube. Me and Scott, we do a daily crypto news as well. That we just go
Sweet.
through. Yeah, so it's another place that like what you're talking about. We brought that up. I think that was like last week's conversation sometime. But yeah, I brought that up. But yeah, that's gonna be the 20. I think it's the 29th. I don't quote me.
Yeah,
I
it
know it's
is.
the 29th.
It is
Yeah,
29.
and it's between 5 and 10,000 people. But yeah, we do a lot of news articles every day. That's kind of how I stay up on what's going on in the news. So when me and Scott get to network every day, even though we don't get to see each other except online and stuff like that, and we team up with other groups and other projects, and we all talk about what's going on in the news and kind of get each other's feels on it and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun. It's like Christian Scott's first take version of it.
Dude, that's what's up, man. Dude, you guys are hustling, bro. I love it.
Oh
How
yeah,
long have you
man.
guys been in the space? Like, or not even that, just like what inspired you? Like, how did you get here, man?
For me personally, I
Sure.
got a weird story because I only used to just purchase Bitcoin. So I like to say I was in the space is I consider myself in the space now. Like when I was purchasing Bitcoin, that was really in the space. It was like for something else. But then I just had Bitcoin, and then I just kind of like I had it for before like it was too high, and then when it did get to like 20,000, I kind of sold like almost all of my Bitcoin because I thought like that was like the best thing ever. But after that, I got into I aped into another like just a meme type project, and it didn't give me the results I wanted. And then after that, I just kind of started putting some knowledge behind this space because like I like to gamble, I just don't like to lose, if that makes any sense. But um, so I decided to put some knowledge behind it, and I spent a lot of time doing a lot of research in the last year. Blockchain technology, obviously, fintech type of stuff, anything that does, with gaming, I try to do a little reading on. So, and then, I got lucky and partnered up with Scott, and we worked with Andy. Andy's like, he's Andy. So, like, it just we fell into a good position, and then, I've been, trading as well. I do day trading, and I also do TA. So I do a little bit of everything now, but that's kind of how I got here. What about you, Scott?
So I was into Doge for when it ran up and sold out of it at the top part of it. I was definitely one of those guys, and then I got into SafeMoon and definitely met Andy through SafeMoon. I actually wrote some articles and stuff while I was having fun in that environment and started a little bit of hype in that area and did different things, and then I got to know Rostick and Andy really well. Like I still talk to Rostick a little bit. Andy more or less I work for now, and yeah, and for BigONE of course. But Andy's the chairman of BigONE, so And then now that I'm full time in the cryptocurrency world as the marketing person for Canada and the US, but I just handle most of the social media for BigONE. Like I do the Twitter, Medium, LinkedIn, Facebook, Reddit. We're doing YouTube videos like Ivan mentioned about the daily crypto news on BigONE, so I'm doing it all. I was actually in car sales before this, so from car sales to the cryptoverse, which I love it, man. Like there's no better thing. I'm home with my kids every day. I pick them up from school. I take them to school. I'm on here. I'm in the space every day. Like it's my life. I love it. Like there's nothing better.
Yeah, dude, I feel you, bro. That's a really cool story. It's like, I don't know, we there's just so much to be done, right? It's like there's so much to be done. So it's like anything we can do, whatever it is you're best at, we do that. And
Oh
those
yeah,
contributions
whatever you can
are
add to it.
often,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to imagine, like, if Vibin's mentioned this before, and I'll just kind of mention it now, is there's 9% or 10% of people involved in cryptocurrency right now. So, us being in the crypto space right now are one of the first pioneers, even though it's been around since 2010, I believe, is the beginning of Bitcoin. But I mean, we're still in the very beginning phases of this. They always compare it to a ball game that we're still in the first inning. I don't even know if you can consider it the first inning. It's kind of like we're in the batter cage right now, getting ready to come up to start hitting those balls, right? Like we're not even in the first inning yet. Or we could even be in a practice. Like there's so much evolution and so much stuff to actually happen yet that it's going to be incredible.
Dude, when is Snoop Dogg's performance in the sandbox, man? I got my eyes waiting. I'm ready for that. Like that just sounds so cool.
Didn't he already do a space in there? I thought he did.
Well, he has like some stuff built out, and he sold tickets to like an event that's coming up, but I don't know that it's been held yet. Maybe he's done something already.
I'm not sure. I'd have to actually investigate that a little bit to find out. I'd be up for going in there and checking it out too, but I bet you the tickets were not cheap.
Yeah, I bet they're. Yeah, have to agree with you on that, most likely.
I should technically do what Vibin said and start building out some land or buying a piece of land with the sandbox that, or the tokens I have right now is just buy a piece central somewhere's in there that I can sell in the future too as well. I haven't even
Yeah.
started on that.
Bro, this is like, I mean, if you think about it, Scott, this is like next level staking, right? Like this is like staking, but it's like asset staking, just like in the real world in finance, right? Like, so you're gonna take property, virtual property that you have online, and you're just gonna buy it up right now, and you're gonna be like, if you think you're in the we're in the first 10, first 8% of crypto in all of the world, so the NFT is just a small section, a small percentage of that. So if you take in, crypto and you break it down by sectors, you got GameFi, you got memes, you got your blue chips. So these are all percentages of 8% that people 8% of the world are investing in. So like it's only gonna get more lucrative percentage wise. So the earlier you get in, the better, obviously. But yeah, like that's gonna be a different experience going forward. Like as it continues to grow, like to be able to do that, like that's like, and I was just looking up this sandbox performance for Snoop. I was trying to find out when it was, like because it's like you're literally gonna have if you go to that event, you're gonna have that moment on the blockchain forever, right? So now you have a right to it, and you could probably sell that, or have it going forward, and it gain a lot of value, like could be priceless.
So true.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, guys, over here.
How you doing, bro?
We're good. Um, Talking about the metaverse, I've actually been listening to you guys, and I really, really appreciate, the whole information you people have been passing out, Sandbox and the rest of them. I kind of want to FOMO into Aftermath Island. I don't know. Has anybody heard of that? Liquid Avatar, buying of lands, and the rest of them too. Any info about that?
Which one is that
Aftermath.
again?
Aftermath.
I can look it up.
Please do. I don't really know much about it, but I've been looking at it from Yahoo Finance. I think they mentioned it like 3 days ago or 4 days ago. I think it's going to be big like Sandbox. For we that are actually into Sandbox from the early beginning, the Aftermath Island is something that's also coming up. So I don't know if any of you have actually looked at it, but since we are like the 8% of the whole total population right now dealing with crypto, I think this is another big shot we need to look into.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions for fun.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Much, just to get your wheels turning, and just to help you. It's a big metaverse out there.
Yeah, I know.
So you want to be selective, right? Like, okay, so this could be a good thing. I haven't looked into it at all. Right now, thankfully, Viben's going to look into it a little bit. But I would just say, always a couple of things I pay attention to. I'm
Yeah.
always looking at the team. I'm always looking at, what have they done? Have they proven? Are they delivering? Do they have a really well established roadmap? Does it align with the current times? What's their, is there a community, and is that community growing? What are the avenues for growth? Are they connecting with the community? Community is really important, I think, in crypto or in anything,
That's
but
true.
especially in this space, community is so important. So I'm always looking at those things. Also like social media presence. So that speaks to marketing and engagement and the future of community growth, right? And
Yeah.
then I think delivery, but also like too, if there's not a working product yet, I have a little bit. I don't have much to go on other than track record at that point, right? So then like,
Mm-hmm.
what have they done? And if you don't, so I always look at those things, and you know, when you have a whole bunch of things to look at, you might as well be pretty selective, right? Because there's tons of upside in so many of these things, and well, you should look and see if Viben starts checking. I mean, if this particular project, for example, checks those boxes for you, but those are just some thoughts.
Yeah, you gotta look at too the market cap of it, how many holders are in it. There's so much that you can look at, how many tokens there are of it, like your total supply. That's another thing you got to look at, just because if I mean sometimes I'll leap into something with just a humongous supply. I just did it recently. I won't say which project, but I mean, like, I just did it for fun, right? Like, it's just one of those things that sometimes you do that just for giggles, kind of.
Yeah, it happens. Hey, what was the name of that project? Oh, how do you spell that? I can't find anything on it right now.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to send it to you. I saw it on Yahoo Finance, so I thought maybe anybody would have seen it. So that's why I asked about it.
Yeah,
Aftermath.
let me send it. DM it over to me, and I'll take a look at it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, bro.
No problem.
That's what this space is about to you guys, is like, anyone in this chat, man, feel free to come up here, feel free to talk, uh, feel free to communicate. We're all about growth here. We're all about working together. There's no negativity in this space. I know we didn't kind of mention it today. We're all about, as Viben has his name, all about the vibes and keeping positivity and growth in here. In cryptocurrency, when it comes to what we're in right now, that is what's going to promote growth, is all of us getting along. The infighting totally has to stop, and everything, people got to work together and work uh, with each other to make this space grow. So
That is definitely for sure, man. I always tell people I compare it to like shoes or cars. There's so many different type of shoes and cars and styles and models, and they're not all fighting each other. They're just out trying to, you know, put more innovation into their cars and into that space. And it's the same thing that we got to promote here in the crypto space. So that's why, like, I love the platform that I'm on. Like, I don't work specifically with one project. Like, I like to work with Andy, and he teaches us, hey, you guys got to work with each project, find out what they're good at, and help them promote that, and introduce them to people that where those two technologies could, complement one another. So that's one thing that we like to try to push in the space, is just that unity. And we try to, Wednesdays we have a space at 12 as well, and we invite a lot of devs, and we try to get creative minds together on Fridays. We kind of have just like a more of a free space, and just chit chat before the weekend starts. But like, it's always good to see those developers come in and talk, and see them bond and mix, and formulate something together, or work with each other behind closed doors, or meet up at summits or block, or conventions that's going on, and share each other's work or projects. So it's a great network, man, and we're building it step by step. And the earlier you can get into these spaces and start talking to people and get to know people, you're gonna give yourself a better chance of meeting the right people, because it's not that many people doing it at all right now already. So I love the space. I love crypto. I'm always here. Maybe not here on Twitter, but Telegram especially. You could always find me over there, chatting and giving some people some good vibes.
100%. And we love people that are in the crypto space that maybe don't talk all the time to come up and speak, because we're going to learn potentially something new as well, right? Where somebody else that uh, has been in the crypto space forever might know some of the same stuff we do. When you have a new person that's willing to come up and kind of ask questions that maybe somebody else is kind of growing cold to or whatever, you learn so much more.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, man, and then it's all about, like, once you get into crypto, guys, and you become successful or whatever, it's like you got to give back and you teach others. Like, I know, like, one thing Andy does, man, that's really big that I respect, man. He doesn't like, how easy it would be for him in his position just to take on the best of the best projects, right? Like, that's the easy road, that's the easy way out. But to see him go and help projects, that's actually falling down, that's when somebody's like on the like doing it the right way. And that's kind of like where my aim is now. It's like, man, I want to go out and help projects that are failing. As long as they're good people, man, they could have a rough start, right? Like, it's not like everybody whose project is not doing well is a bad person. Maybe they didn't have the right team, maybe the development wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then it's forever evolving technology, right? So then they have to catch up to what's going on. I mean, you're in a competitive environment, building against a lot of people that's learning like you're learning, and building what you're building, just a little different mindset on it. So, and there's, like, for the retail side of it, they look at similar projects and they hear similar pitches, right? So, like, it's just, like, the better it could get is if everybody comes together, right? So it's like it makes it easier for retail, and then you can just keep pushing, you can push everything, and I think that's going to lead us towards that mass adoption that everybody wants.
What's so interesting about crypto is how, I just, like, for, I'm sure many of you guys have experienced things. It's like things you've been tracking, things you've been believing in, things you've been contributing to. And it's amazing how, sometimes those things will just, catch momentum, man, and just, and, knock on wood, and knock on wood. But, yeah, excited to you follow things like the sandbox. You watch these devs and guys, building in it. You watch these people talking about it. You watch the assets, being created. You're just like, well, when can I play the game? But you know, knock on wood, man, those days are coming. And you know, and it's funny. It just starts, and that's the power of community, I think. And dude, I can't wait to drop this Kong in sandbox, man, and run them around a little bit. I don't know what it'll be able to do, but you know, we'll see.
You're ready to see it. You're like, I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm ready to drop him in there and see what's going on. No, that's
Yeah.
those days are coming though, bro. Like, for sure, man. Like, and it's funny though, because like we it's almost like, at least you're the right kind of win person. Like, you're like, when can we play? So everybody else is like, win Lambo, right? So, like, developers would respect people like you, like, just the product that come out. But there's so much testing that goes into these games, and like, even me and Scott was talking earlier. Like, if you've been in Decentraland, it's almost like it looks like Nintendo back in the day, almost in a sense, when it comes to like what you're going to experience in the metaverse. So there's a lot of building that has to go on. And Scott was saying like how glitchy the Oculus is at times in certain scenery and stuff. So it's just like it's going to be a lot of building, and I can't wait. I think in the next 5 years, the technology that we see roll out with games and play to earn and the usage of NFTs, it's gonna be magnificent for sure.
And the funny thing is, like Decentraland, if you look at it, it's actually arms and lengths ahead of Meta. Like you can actually run around and look like a person in Decentraland, and in the Meta, you look like a robot with a face attached to you. That's what they do, and it's really glitchy. Like your character has a hard time moving in there. Like it's really difficult sometimes to even move around in it.
Just
Epic,
like
yo, BigONE. You asked me earlier, like about OVR ambassador or whatever. Dude, to your point, I just want to talk about like I just want to say like, have you guys ever experienced like what AR might look like? And I say that because another one you should just check out, watch their YouTube videos, whatever. Make sure you're on the right channel, um, and or go to their. There's different ways to look at what they got going on. Just download the app, make sure you got the right app. But dude, over the OVR reality is so cool. Like you walk into your front yard and you can literally experience like dinosaurs like in your front yard. Yeah, it absolutely blew my
Really?
mind, dude. When via your phone, right? Like so, like your camera opens, but you look at your phone and it like literally animates whatever's been built in that geometric location. And what's crazy is that the world, just like in Sandbox where you buy land in the actual world. Like the Eiffel Tower is just traded for like pretty high amount of F from what I understand. But dude, that concept
Crazy,
really
man.
blows my mind, and it's really interesting. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like they have like you can visit the Sistine Chapel, like just you know. I've never been to the Sistine Chapel, but I feel like I know what it looks like just by interacting with that demo that's available. But
they
looking
do
at that
like,
one,
don't they have something that does like the flight simulations? Google has something like that as well, right?
man, I really don't know, but that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's like they do I think
True.
it's called Google Flight, but it's augmented reality, and you could pretty much virtually fly. Like you could virtually fly over Singapore and make it feel like you're really in Singapore, and you can see everything and where it is, and it's pretty dope too. It's that same kind of.
That's Microsoft Flight Simulator that does
Oh, it's
that.
my. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Right.
It it'd be really
Big
cool
one.
if you
I
could wear
actually
a
sent you
helmet
that
and
right now.
Hey Scott, I think he said he sent over that project that he was talking about to your DM.
oh, to my DMs. Okay.
So what else is everybody excited about this weekend? We don't always got to talk about gaming. Only talk about gaming. I don't say always. We don't always talk about gaming for sure. I know yesterday I was. I don't know if you guys staked any or if you guys are in the polka dot. Akala won the first group. I mean, the first parachain auction yesterday. So I know that here in the States, we were not allowed to participate in the Moonbeam. So I wasn't able to participate in Moonbeam. So I was like very happy to see that they did win. But I think a call. I mean, I think Moonbeam will win the second one, and then I got Bit Forest winning the third one. But it could be Astar too, or A Star. I'm not sure. Astar, yeah. I'm not sure. But I think those parachains are going to be fun to watch. But I think they're all launching on December the 16th, if I'm not mistaken, or between December 10th and December 16th. Hey, Magnan, I know you. I think you said you do polka dot, or you're into polka dot, or are you not?
I'm not into it like or anything, but I track like what's going on because it's relevant to like the Enjin ecosystem and what they're doing with Affinity, which they're I think they're one of those pair chains that are being going through the process right now, Affinity, and yeah, so that's interesting because well, it's very relevant. I think what they're aiming for is interoperability, and a highway of sorts that really like makes things a lot easier for the NFT ecosystem, especially games and stuff like that. So, we'll see. Time will
Oh
tell.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah. I mean,
definitely
I
watching it
love
because it's so interesting. Yeah.
I love what they're just building out as far as Web3 development, the Polkadot, Kasama, the whole ecosystem on both, and then that interoperability to go between both. It's almost like a two-in-one blockchain for each one of them. So it's going to be really cool. And then if you do want to look at what they're building as far as like their metaverse that they're going to be building on, um, I think they're building it out through Remark, which is Singular is the protocol. But I know that the token is called RMRK, which is Remark. But that's going to be the currency that's used in the metaverse to actually purchase property and land or whatever in the metaverse. So I've been hitting that one for a while. I think since it launched on KuCoin, but it's having a really nice run now, and I think it'll continue to do well. The same because that whole I just know when it comes to that Web3, like Gavin, he's not going to take the back seat. Like I don't think he wants to take the back seat. Like that's his playground.
Super cool.
Yeah, I always try to find a couple projects, but no, that's one of the ecosystems I love right now. And then I recently got into not like recently got into Solana, but I recently got into like projects that's under Solana. Like who's building on Radium and who's doing you know everything on their layer zeros and everything like that, or everything on their layer one, just to try to like keep up with everything. But there is so many projects, man. Like it's almost like with the games when you were saying it's so many games. It's like, and so much stuff is going to be built. Like it's like that with all the projects that we get
Yeah.
to run by.
What I don't understand, I'm trying to like Polygon's doing big things, right? Like they're definitely like solving issues for many projects. Solana is the talk is similar, right? Like I hear great things about Solana. Same thing I've heard about the other chains, right? Like the people talk about in these great projects that are getting launched on them. I guess so. Interoperability comes to mind, right? Like you're definitely going to want to have like a highway where that's like where everything can interact. But what I'm trying to understand is like, okay, so I haven't tried anything that's like directly on something like Solana or anything like that. I guess the only way I'm going to learn is by diving in, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I still
In
just
a
have
sense, I
questions
mean,
like,
it's
how does
just
it work, man? It's like it still confuses me. Like, hold on a second, I gotta go. I gotta like, like migrate my. I don't know. Like,
like
I
so.
haven't done it yet. I haven't been off the Ethereum network. You know what I mean? So
I
it
mean, to
doesn't.
get off the Ethereum network, you know that the gas is high, right? To use the Ethereum
Yeah.
network, the gas is high. So basically, what these companies are doing and these projects are doing, especially like Matic, like they'll you can bridge, right? So basically, you'll put up something like within like collateral. You'll put up one ETH, right, and it'll build a bridge for you to take your ETH transactions and be able to convert them to a wrap version and then trade them on Matic, and it'll be way less gas. And the funny part is that you're using that Ethereum that you put up for collateral. That's for your bridge to basically be uh built, right? And then when you get done with the bridge, you can essentially get it back, right? Like you don't have to hold on to like they don't take your Ethereum. It's just more like a collateral type of deal. So you're gonna save a lot on gas fees. Solana, what makes Solana and some of the other protocols useful, they all use the EVM, right? Like so to save like you can easily get off the Ethereum network and use other networks. It's just you have that interoperability is being able to go between them and not have to pay the Ethereum gas. So because Ethereum's, even though they're burning, they're gonna have to like the fork is still it's doing it's working, but it's gonna take a few years to catch up. right? But that's why you have these projects building, and they're building, faster things, and it's like a lot less, like on transaction fees. So I know Scott, he has a couple of Solana NFTs too.
So what was the process, man? Like, did you just go straight to the website of the thing that was being built on Solana and like acquire an NFT that way that was automatically minted onto Solana? Is that the process, or was it like you did like migration?
You got to have a Solana wallet, like a wallet that's capable of holding Solana. And then the minting is really easy. Typically the websites, like if you're looking at NFTs in Solana, are super simple to mint on people's website. Like you just connect your wallet directly to the website and mint it, just probably like how you do in an Ethereum network. Same kind of deal.
Yeah, that's pretty much. You just got to have something that's compatible to whatever blockchain that NFT on. Excuse me. But yeah, as long as you got something that's compatible wallet wise, that's how you purchase those. And some. I mean, different protocols have different processes. I know like some of the ones on Moon River, for instance, like they're you can vote. Like if you vote and participate in some of the votes and things that's happening in the community, it's a way for you to gain perks in a sense, and you could get NFTs and stuff like that as well.
I, for instance, like one thing Viben was talking about, I got a few NFTs. One was a bad one, and then the last one, the project didn't get the hype that they wanted, so they actually gave me back my Solana, which I used 3 Solana on that project, and I got all 3 back, which that's not a small amount of money to just hand over to a person, and you're still allowed to keep the NFTs in the end as well, which is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that was what one thing that did shock me. I think that is going to end up being a good project, and that lets you know that they're going to stand by their product, right? Like for them to not have something go right, to give you back your Solana, and then also let you keep the NFTs. Like, yeah, that wouldn't have happened in a lot of people's product projects sometimes, because people don't want to do the right thing sometimes. But that's the way. Like that's the wave right there for them to be able to do that and give back to you. Like, but it's been a lot of great NFT projects coming out, man. I think a lot of people are getting really creative with the NFTs. I'm just ready for that. I'm ready for that next step about NFTs, man. I want to see them used in games. Number one, I want to see the that that experience where you could really go and meet your favorite artist, or you could win tickets to go to their concert, or maybe purchase lyrics to the chorus of their song, and if it ever gets played on like or a movie or something like that, then you probably get like a small kickback on it. But that experience with NFTs, like, is so much. Like when people think there's a bubble on NFTs, I'm like, if it is a bubble, it ain't big enough yet. It's a lot of building to keep that. It's going to keep going. It's going to be a lot going on with the NFTs. So definitely going to be really excited to see how far this gets pushed along for sure.
But you can see too now they're talking about like functioning NFTs. We talked about this in our news thing yesterday. There's a place called Hold Valley that's going to be doing mortgages and stuff, and actually like rentals and things on the actual metaverse side of it, and they're calling it a functioning NFT, which I think is amazing. Like to be able to finance a space if you wanted to, so that you can own that space and make payments on it, and then the person that actually owned it in the beginning is making money off of that, like a franchise as well, which is it's amazing. I kind of want to look into that whole valley a little bit more. I keep on thinking about it after our talk there yesterday, Viben, after we did it 3 times because of my computer issues. I
Oh
haven't been
my
able to
god.
stop thinking about that project.
It was so funny because like when we record our news article, like our daily news or whatever, like we hardly ever have to do it twice, like unless I mess up on the introduction because I'll be laughing or something. But like we never like have to re-record it. And yesterday, like we had to redo it like 3 times. Like one time I was literally about to like wrap up the forecast of the daily crypto, like the total market cap, and his computer like did something and my phone died, and I was like, it was so crazy yesterday, but we got through it. Hey Scott, we're probably gonna wrap up here in about the next 5 minutes. I didn't realize it was already 1:30. Usually, I like to try to go for an hour on Fridays, and then we try to do 2 hours on Wednesdays.
Hey, how long has this feature been available here on Twitter? I've been
But
off of Twitter for a while, so I just came back.
I would say since about May, March.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was early March.
yeah, March. Like really, when like the
Yeah, March.
meme coins really got popping. I remember coming to Twitter and seeing people have these space, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? And I'm like, just get into a space, and I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool.
verified profile pictures
Hey,
is going to be a big thing, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. Clever Six, I never got your link. Did you send it to Vibin's direct message or mine?
I'm gonna try to send it again. I think I sent it to you, BigONE. I did.
Maybe send it to Vibin just in case, because he'll be the one
Just in
that
case
does
too,
the
right?
analysis on it. Yeah. Well, he likes doing that stuff, so he'll definitely give you a rundown.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
know.
sure. I have some friends that like doing it as well, so like it's just fun to share the information. Hey Scott, what did you think about the project that came today? The what was it called? Dozilla?
I bought some the day before it came in or whatever. Like their token supply is way up
Their
there,
token
but I
supply
mean
is
it's
actually funny. Like it's
Dodzilla. I think it's
yeah,
Dodzilla.
Dozilla is 69 sextillion. So like it's like 69 and sextillion tokens. Like so that had to start off as a joke. But that it's funny. I think they have a really strong community. I think the community is young, so they have a good young fight. Kind of reminds me of that Kishu, the Kishu army. Like so they give me that same kind of vibe. So I think there'll be a good meme project, and if they put some utility behind it to go with it, it'll be good. But I just couldn't get past the token supply. I don't you know me. I don't like stuff like that. No, I'm honest. Like like anytime there's more than I like honestly I got a rule like 12 zeros or more. Like I'm probably cool off your project. Like it's just gonna be too risky for me and like how I like to move.
It's insane.
well, and the funny thing is their market cap is so high right now too. I didn't realize how high it was.
I mean, I don't think the market cap is high in the terms of how many fucking tokens they got because that market cap has the potential to go through the roof. But that's something that you if you're gonna mess with, I would say, probably put in. I mean, be expecting a return of in years and not in weeks or months or anything like that. I would just be cognizant of your outlook on it, and not like me. I just always know, man. Like those that the tokenomics, and I'm not a big. I'm trying to get away from that world. Like I think it's fun to play in, but I don't take it very serious. Like if I do anything, it's like low risk. Anytime there's high reward, there's gonna be high risk, right? So I'd rather just do low risk, and if I get, you know, Scott knows I put in $50, and if it turns, I keep it a few months, and then turn into some, maybe 1,000. That's cool, But like if I lose $50, I mean that's cool too. Like it's okay. Hopefully they take the money and do something better. Like and build. So I like being on both sides, but if anytime I'm gonna play with some serious money, I can't. Like things with that many tokens scare me.
I added you up, Magnet, too, as well. I have you on here, so next time we have a space or whatever, hopefully we can catch you on here. And you guys are more than welcome to add me as well. Like, I'm happy. I run this Twitter space and use the BigONE Twitter and run the Twitter, but I also have my own Twitter, CryptoBeast32 online, so you can look for that if you want it as well. I do that most of the time, but I've been slacking on that because I'm all the time on this one.
Yes, sir. But you always you're on Telegram as CryptoBeast32. So
Yeah, people can find me on
yeah,
there too.
we're always on there. Asia Blockcast community. We do AMAs for newer projects that's coming out. And some we have some good projects come by, and I'd tell everybody, you know, it's a good space to join as well. And also we have the BigONE. Obviously, we have the BigONE Telegram. You know, that's kind of like our fun space. I don't know why people like. For sometimes people think it's a help center, but we have a bot. We have a bot that can help anybody out that's having any issues trying to get something exchanged or something like that. Because I know sometimes people come in there and they're mad at me that you know, I might not know something that a technical issue with their thing on BigONE. I'm like, hey, like we do marketing, bro. Like that's not it's a whole different section.
Yeah, that's definitely very true. Here, we'll add you up one last time, and then we'll probably close up the space in another 2 minutes, like he was mentioning.
Yeah, because on Fridays, guys, I gotta do my payroll for my guys. I also
Yeah, I just want to
also
say
run
it was
a
great meeting you guys, man. I hope to cross paths here, find your channel again.
Oh yeah, man, I went ahead and
Same
added you
here.
as a
Yeah,
friend as
definitely.
well.
Good deal.
Yeah, guys, make sure you follow your speakers and then follow each other, man. And that's what it's all about, you know, just building up this community, building up the trust to find, you know, people that you can or sources that you can, you know, talk to and feel comfortable going into their space. Wednesdays is our big space, so sometimes we might not be able to get people up that we can get up on Fridays, but it's still good vibes if you guys come and you can hear a lot of developers and their opinions on things as well. But that's on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock the same time. And we usually take that space on for 2 hours. And on Fridays, we usually just do 12 to 1. But today we had some fun, so we just kept it going. But I know I definitely got to head off now. But I appreciate everybody that's here. Uh, Scott, I appreciate you opening up the space. All the speakers, I appreciate you guys coming up. And if you're listening, I appreciate your ears, bro. And let's keep pushing the vibes.
Okay, have a wonderful day, you guys. Thank you again for coming into our space. Like he mentioned, always love you guys being in here. Please don't hesitate. Give me a follow so you know when our next space is.